Hello, my friends. What's up? How you doing? We got a message from our friend in our project management masterclass asking about cost estimates in the world of Agile. Now, it's common knowledge that on predictive projects you plan everything in detail. You have detailed cost estimates. You have cost estimates not only for the near term but also for the long term across the entire thing. However, in the world of Agile, you do not plan cost to such a high degree of detail. Instead, you plan cost at a very high level at the beginning of the endeavor, and as you proceed through time within each sprint, you then fine tune your estimates to be even more detailed only when you get to the period of performance. We talk a lot about progressive elaboration. Well, think about progressive elaboration not only in scope, but also in terms of the cost. So while you might have a high level idea of the cost in the very beginning, you are going to refine that cost estimate as you get closer in time to the period of performance or as you begin to work the sprint. So in sprint planning, if you need to go further to go from, let's say, an analogous estimate to a definitive estimate, from being, let's say, minus 25 to plus 75% accurate to being a lot more accurate between minus 5 to plus 10%, then that is where you go into the detail. So contrary to what a lot of people think, there are cost estimates in Agile. They're only at a high level. But as you get closer in time to when you're performing the work, you can go even deeper to a more definitive estimate. All right, so that's something to be aware of. Now, we also got a question in this same token from our student asking about hybrid models. Hybrid models are very simple to understand. It's a blend of two approaches. You've got a fully plan driven approach, or you've got a predictive approach. You blend them together in any proportion, you have a hybrid. You don't need to get all scientific about it. It's pretty much taking some methods or practices that are agile in nature and combining them with methods or practices that are more predictive in nature. For example, having daily stand-ups while you run a predictive project, or having retrospectives where you do not necessarily collate lessons learned and document them all, but you gather these ideas in a retrospective for use by the team without sharing them far and wide. Those are practices that you can combine. You can have a retrospective mindset when you are working with a team to get what went well and what didn't instead of documenting it. And the team can be more vulnerable when you're not in the habit of documenting everything. That's an agile mindset. Or the daily stand-up where you're doing your frequent checks. That is an agile mindset. Having a daily stand-up for the inspect and adapt mindset. So don't get hung up on any prescriptive hybrid models. No, hybrid models can be tailored. And hybridization just means taking some of the practices on page 50, for example, in the Agile Practice Guide, and combining them with any of the things you've learned from chapters 1 to 13 in the PMP Guide. Okay, there are many things you could take. The idea about sprint reviews, retrospectives, daily stand-ups, the idea about backlog refinement, the idea about even using a backlog, the idea about maybe even using a Kanban board in the middle of a predictive project to better organize personal work, having a personal Kanban board. These are all ideas of hybridization. Now, to go a step further, if you open up to the Agile Practice Guide, pages, I believe it's 27 and 28, they have a number of models. And don't worry, I'm not on the road. I know those of you police, cops looking, oh, Phil's talking when he's driving. No, I'm pretty much in a drive-through, so don't get all bent out of shape. But the bottom line is, if you go to page 27 or 28 in the Agile Practice Guide, what you're going to begin to see is these models that PMI are talking about as far as how you can hybridize your projects. So I'm just going to read a few of these for you before it gets to my turn here. So page 27, it says agile development followed by a predictive rollout. That's one. And you've got agile, 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 and you get to a point and then you switch to predictive. And then the next one, you've got agile with a predictive rollout. It's like a sandwich. I call it an agile predictive sub. And that's on page 27. And that's a combined agile and predictive approach used simultaneously. And then if you go to the next page, you see a largely predictive approach with agile components. And then the next page shows a largely agile approach with a predictive component. You get what I'm saying? So don't get all bent out of shape thinking that things must fit a particular way or must be in a particular proportion. No, you could tailor any of those agile and predictive approaches specific to your project, specific to your company. It doesn't have to be exactly as it is in the Agile Practice Guide, okay? I hope this gives you some clarity about cost management in the world of Agile and about hybridization, all right? Read the Agile Practice Guide where it talks about cost management, and what you'll see on page, I believe it's 91 or 92, where we talk about how to apply Agile to the knowledge areas. What you're going to see is at the very beginning, high level. As you move along, you get more definitive. All right, I hope that helps. I'm going to the drive-thru to get my salad. Bye.